Hello, Gage. Please, the floor is yours.
Awesome. So this is an introduction to what is Thoth Search, which is going to be a new UI visualization of what Thoth can provide. Currently, what it provides is two major pieces. It provides looking at packages and looking at advised documents that Thoth produces. So first, simply what the package analysis does is you give it any sort of package, and it will currently only display the metadata. In the future, it'll display things like dependencies, licenses, and scorecards, all of which is provided through Thoth. And secondly, the core part of this app is the advise. So with Thoth Advise, you were given a JSON document with all of the information of the advise. There's two ways you can do this. You can either look at a previously run advise, or you can create your own by giving it a pip file lock, and then specifying parameters. Right now, because that can take a little bit, we'll just do a basic one. A pre-made one. This is one I ran yesterday. What it'll do, it'll load all the dependencies in, create a graph, and then display a couple summary metrics. You can look at the logs, see what it did if you're interested. You can see when it completed, and then you can look at specific things about the dependencies. So if we look at the new graph it created and the old graph, you can see differences between them. You can also look at licenses and if they're OSI approved for both the old and the new. And then the last summary piece is the Thoth Advise summary, which you can see is where added, removed, and version change packages are, as well as the justifications cumulatively counted together. Now, if you want to look a little bit more specific at packages, you can go over to the Advise results page. You can see that there are a lot of packages that stayed the same based on this 0, and some that were added, some that were removed. We looked at one of them that stayed the same. You can look at a little bit more info on what Thoth has to say about it. Here are the info justifications. In the future, these will be converted into metrics like you saw before in the package analysis. And same thing here with warning justifications. These will also be converted into metrics. For now, they are displayed as text and a link to view more about them. You can also see package origins, which you can see where the app is, where it originates from. Right here is our package we're looking at, and it came from here all the way back. And this was our root package, Google Auth. And you can see small changes that happen. Like, for example, this change, it just had its version changed from 3.3 to 2.5. And all these info and warning justifications might be a reason for that. You can also look at added packages. And a little bit different is with remove packages. You can see why it was removed. In this case, request had its version changed, in which the package that was there was no longer included. So then you can see that it was removed because of requests. And yeah, so that is the basic of Advise, the detail screen. And there's a little bit more if you want to look at if you want to contribute, there is a documentation that's up on the GitHub. And this gives you a little bit of an overview of how the structure of the app works and a little bit of how the data flow works, and then a detailed description of each component of the React app. I think that's it. Yeah, if you would like to contribute, head over to the GitHub and put in some feature requests, some issues, some bugs. We can build this up with something bigger.
Thank you very much, Gage. It's awesome. Do you have any questions?
Yes. Yeah, it's awesome. This looks great. My question is, old and new, I guess it's when you run an advice with an existing log file.
Mm-hmm.
But the question is, what happens when it's a new repo? You only have a pip file, no log, no previous versions, let's say. So initial, like you just specify pip file with dependencies and ask for an advice? Yes.
Oh, so if you didn't give it a pip file, like when you ran an advise, you didn't give it both the pip file and pip file lock? Is that?
Right.
Um, Currently, right now, it's supporting only if you have pip file and pip file lock. And I mean, I do believe that the older advices, they do have I guess, a stale period. So, I mean, the older ones will become stale anyway at some point. So it's best to run just a new one with both the pip file and pip file lock. If you didn't run it with a pip file, if you didn't run it with like the old dependencies and just with a pip file, you would still get the metrics for the first half of it. You just wouldn't get sort of the comparison metrics. So you wouldn't get things like what packages were added or removed because it has nothing to compare it to. Otherwise, it would work the same and just showing you just the new pip file lock that was created.
Cool. Great. Another question. Is there an easy way to link to one of those recommendations? I'm thinking, when there is when Chat provides an update or the update manager or something like that, then if there is a way to provide a link in directly to the search, that could be cool as well.
Yes. It's designed in a way where the advise ID is stored in the link. So I just put something in the chat right now, and you don't need to go to
Okay.
the main page to do it. You can really just put it right in the URL, and that will link right to the document, and you should be able to see that and go through the same thing, the same exact thing that I'm saying.
Right.
So it's not dependent on any user or anything stored because everything is being grabbed directly from that pip file. I mean, not from the pip file, but from the advised document.
Right.
Thank you. Do you have any other questions? Otherwise, thank Gage. Very well done. And see you next time.